Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. So, we are the group 5 and we will be discussing about the track and field. So first, let me give you an introduction. So I will be discussing about the history and development and the track and field, and the track events, which is race, walking, and hurdling, will be discussed by Pananggilan by Yasmin, and the track events, which is running and relays, will be discussed by Pendi Murfat, and the field events, which is jumping, pole vault, and high jump, will be discussed by Petilo Jumana, and the field events, which is the long jump and tri-pole jump, will be discussed by Pilot Dato J. And the last one is the field events, which is a hammer throw, javelin throw, and multi-events, will be discussed by Usop by Sandra. And now, let's proceed to our proper discussion. Again, I am Ashley Lucas and I will be discussing about the history and development. And of course, we have a history and development of our track and field. So we have a early development. From 1829 BC, the Lungasad Festival Tailiturn Games involving various forms of tracks and field activities were initiated in Ireland. So, yung Lungasad Festival daw, Tailtean Games, is nagmula siya sa Ireland around 1829 BC. So they were like a big sports festival where people from different places in Ireland came together to compete. Meron din silang mga running races, jumping contests, wrestling matches, and even chariot races. Hindi lamang tungkol sa sports yung kanilang ginagawa. They also have a music, a food, and celebration. Itong games na to is ito yung nagiging way nila, o ito yung nagiging way ng community para magsaya sila. They show their skills and celebrate their cultures. They were a big deal and continued for a long time, leaving a mark on Irish history and sports. And the next one, we have a 778 BC. The start of the male-only Asian Olympic Games in Athens, Greece. Greek women formed their own Heria Games, which, like the Olympics, were held every 4 years. So, around 776 BC naman, ito yung the ancient Olympic Games kick off in Athens, Greece. These games were exclusively for men and were a huge deal in Greek culture. Pero, ang Greek women naman is they wanted to get in on the action too. So they created their own version called the Heria Games. So, just like the Olympics, ang Heria Games is nangyayari lamang ito siya every 4 years. So, ang ginagawa nila dito is sumasayaw sila, or the Greek woman is nakikipag-compete sila sa athletic events, and they celebrate their abilities, or nagsa-celebrate din sila ng kanilang mga abilities. It was like the Olympics, but just for women. So, pang babae lamang yung Olympics na yon. And pinapakita din nila doon sa sports na yon kung gaano ka-importante sa lahat yung ancient Greece, regardless of their gender. And the next one is a 490 BC. A Greek soldier is said to have run from Marathon to Athens to convey the news of the Greek victory over the Persians, which is believed to be the origin of Marathon. So, of course, in 420 BC, after the Greek victory over the Persians at the Battle of Marathon, so, nagkaroon ng legendary event, okay, doon sa lugar na yon. So, of course, a Greek soldier known as Pediphides is said to have run from the battlefield in Marathon all the way to Athens to deliver the news of the victory. So, ito is nag-remark siya. Nag-remark siya ng feat of endurance, na kung saan pinapaniwalaan nila yung origin, or be the origin of the marathon race. So, ang distance from Marathon to Athens is approximately 26 miles or 42 kilometers. So, according dun sa legend, kung saan ang Pediphides is kaya nilang takbuhin yung entire or yung distance, kahit gaano pa man yan kalayo, kaya nilang takbuhin kaya nilang takbuhin ng hindi sila humihinto to ensure na yung people of Athens is na-inform na nakuha na nila yung victory. However, upon reaching Athens, he is said to have exclaimed. So, sinabi na nila, so, nung na-reach na nila yung Athens, sinabi na nila doon na nanalo sila. So, before collapsing and dying from exhaustion. So, after nun is, yeah. So, today, is the marathon race is a popular event in the Olympic Games and other athletic competitions, honoring Pedippides' legendary run and symbolizing endurance, determination, and triumph. So, the second one is the 393 after death or AD is the end of the Olympic Games. So, 393 AD is the ancient Olympic Games came to an end. Meron silang nagkaroon ng a big part of Greek culture for centuries. Pero marami na ring nagbago, and yung Roman Emperor Theodosius is siya, ito na yung sumunod na nag-ruled or namuno during at that time. So, they decided na iban na lang yung lahat ng mga pagan festivals, including the Olympics. This meant no more games in Olympia. So, it was a sad moment for sports and Greek tradition, as the Olympics had been a symbol of unity and celebration for many years. Although yung ancient Olympics is natapos na, yung spirit nila is nandun pa rin, yung pagiging masiyahin nila, yung nakamit na nila yung kalayaan nila, yung pinakita na nila kung paano nila na ipanalo. And they were eventually revived in modern times as the Olympic Games we know today. So, the next one naman is 1154, which is the track and field as practiced today, was born and grew to maturity in England. The first mention of the sport in England was recorded when practice fields were first established in London. So around 1154, yung track and field as we know it today nagsimula ito siya sa England. It all started when people in London set up fields specifically for practicing running, jumping, and other athletic activities. So, ito yung kauna-unahan, or it was the first time, that this kind of organized sports training was mentioned in England. Over time, these practices grew more popular and organized, eventually leading to the development of what we now call track and field sports. So, you could say na ang England is malaki yung naging role nila sa pagbibigay or in giving birth to and shaping the sports we enjoy today on the track and field. And the next one naman is the 1330s, which is the sport was forbidden by King Edward III but was revived a century later by Henry IV or Henry IX, said to be an accomplished hammer thrower. So of course, in the 1330s, si King Edward III naman of England is binand niya yung sport na to. However, about 100 years later, si King Henry King Henry VIII pala is binalik niya yung sports na yun after 100 years later. So it is said that Henry VIII was actually pretty good at one of the events in this sport, the hammer throw. So even though it was forbidden for a while, it made a comeback thanks to a king who was quite the athlete himself. Since we have an early development, of course, we have also a modern development. From 1860s, New York Athletic Club placed the foundation of the sports in the United States. So, 1860s, the New York Athletic Club, NYAC, is laid the groundwork for sports in the United States. This club played a big role in promoting and organizing athletic competitions, kind of like how teams and clubs do today. So, meron din silang, they also help to bring sports into the mainstream and set the stage for the growth of athletic in America. So, you could say they were like the pioneers of sports in the USA. And the next one, we have a from 1866, Amateur Athletic Club or AAC was founded. The AAC was conducted the first English championships. The emphasis was on a competition for gentlemen amateurs who received no financial compensation. So from the 1866, the Amateur Athletic Club or AAC was created. So this club organized the first English championships. They focus on competitions for gentlemen's amateurs, which meant is lahat ng mga tao doon is pwede silang mag-participate kung gusto man nila, or to those people na who love of the sport and didn't get paid for it. So it was all about the joy of competing rather than making money from it. So dito is libre pa lahat. Basta gusto mo yung yung sports na gusto mo, basta mahal mo yung sports na gusto mong i-compete, is yun yung pinaka-importante doon instead of money. So in 1879 naman is the National Association of Amateur Athletes of America or NAAAA was formed to conduct the national championships. 9 years after, the Amateur Athletic Union or AAU succeeded as the national governing body because of reports that the NAAAA was lenient in implementing the code of amateurism. So ito is yung the National Association of Amateur Athletes of America is sinimulan nila dito i-organize yung national championship for amateur athletes in the United States. However, is nung 9 years later, yung AAU is pinalitan nila yung main governing body kung saan this change happened because there were concerns that the NAAA is hindi masyado silang strict. Hindi masyado silang strict in making sure athletes follow the rules of amateurism, which meant not getting paid for competing. So the AAU is they stepped in to ensure that the spirit of amateur athletics was upheld. So in 1880 naman is AAC gave up the governing power to the Amateur Athletic Association or the AAA. So this meant is that the AAA became a responsible overseeing and organizing amateur athletic competition in England. It was like passing the torch of responsibility from one organization to another, ensuring that the management of amateur sports continued smoothly under the AAA's leadership. So around in 1896 naman is track and field as practice today was born and grew to maturity in England. The first mention of the sports in England was recorded when practice fields were first established in London. Dito naman sa Modern Olympic Games from 1896 is dito na rin nagsimula yung Olympic Games. So na-inspired sila sa ancient Olympic Games from 1,000 years ago. So, ang first Olympic Games nila, or the first modern Olympic took place in Athens, Greece, is yung mga tao or yung mga people from different countries na kung saan they came together or parang nagsama-sama sila para makipag-compete lamang doon sa sports na gusto nila, like yung running, jumping, and wrestling. Ito yung naging a big celebration naman sa athleticism and unity among nations, and that's how the modern Olympic Games got started. So around 1904 naman, okay, so the 1900 and the next one is around 1904. So the bamboo pole was used in pole vault. Records set with the bamboo were broken in 1957. So, dito na rin yung pole vaulters dito na rin nagsimula yung pole vaulters using bamboo poles to jump higher. So, kailangan dito is yung malakas ka, kailangan flexible ka, and also helping athletes to achieve their better heights. But in 1957 is parang nagkaroon na rin ng new material came along, like fiberglass, which allowed athletes to break old record set with the bamboo poles. So while bamboo was good, newer materials help athletes reach even greater heights. And around in 1908 naman is the IAAF set the marathon's distance of 26 miles and 385 yards at the 1908 London Olympics, and then changed to its metric value from 42.195 kilometers. So, so in 1908, during the London Olympics, or the International Association of Athletics Federation, they officially set the distance of the marathon race at 26 miles and 385 yards. So dito yung distance niya is it is converted to its metric value, which is the 42.195 kilometers, and they made a decision. Okay, it was a decision made to standardize the marathon distance for all future races, ensuring consistency and fairness in competitions around the world. So whether you measured it in miles or kilometers, the marathon distance remains the same. So around 1912 naman is Olympics included the decathlon, which is supposed to consist of 10 events, and the 5,000 and 10,000 meter marathons events were added in Olympics. So, yeah. Sa 1912 is the decathlon was introduced. Okay, they introduced the decathlon, which is combined ng event of 10 different track and field disciplines. Additionally, is yung 5,000 meter and yung 10,000 meter marathon events were also added in the Olympics program. This means is yung lahat ng mga athletes is meron silang opportunity para makipag-compete in a longer distance races, para maipakita nila yung kanilang endurance, yung bilis nila sa paano nila i-extend yung distance. So dito rin sa 1912 Olympics is pinakita dito yung inclusion of both decathlon and longer marathon events, offering a more diverse range of competition for athletes. And the next one is from around 1913, the International Association of Athletics Federations, or IAAF, was founded. Its rules applied only to men's competitions. So in 1913 is ang IAAF was established. This organization set rules and regulations for athletics competitions around the world. However, sa mga time na to is yung rule nila is ina-applied lamang nila ito sa mga lalaki na gusto nilang makipag-competitions. So ibig sabihin is yung standard nila and yung guidelines nila na pinatupad ng IAAF is for men's athletic events only. So, unlike sa women's athletic is hindi pa siya naging initially included sa IAAF's regulations. Pero dito is pinalitan nila yung time ng mga babae, or they change over time as women's sports gain recognition and participation increase. So, around 1920, and the next one is around 1920, the 3,000 meters steeplechase was added in Olympics in Antwerp, Belgium. So dito is during the Olympic held in Antwerp, Belgium, a new event was added to the competition, which is the 3,000 meters steeplechase. As dito, yung event na to is it involves running over barriers and through water jumps, adding an extra challenge to the race. So, ang athletes nito is kailangan nilang magkaroon sila ng kaya nilang takbuhin yung distance of 3,000 meters and testing their endurance, agility, and technique. So, ang addition naman dito is yung 3,000 meter steeplechase naman is they provided spectators with another exciting and thrilling event to watch during the Olympic Games. And the next one is around 1928, which is that 800 meter steeplechase minimum distance for women was added in the Olympics. Women's high jump and discus throw were first introduced in the Olympics in Amsterdam, Netherlands. So around 1928 naman, during the Olympics in Amsterdam, Netherlands, is several changes were made to women athletics. First is yung meter is nagkaroon siya ng 800 meters steeplechase event was introduced, setting a minimum distance for women in this challenging race. Additional naman is meron ding dalawang new events na sinali nila dito or they add na which is yung Olympic program for women is yung high jump and the discus throw. So this mark an important milestone in the history of women's sports, providing female athletes with more opportunities to compete at the highest level of international competition. This edition naman is they reflect a growing recognitions of women's athletic abilities, and it is also help for them to promote gender equality in world of sports. And the next one is from 1936, the IAAF also became the governing body of women's athletic. So the IAAF is they took on a new role as a governing body for women's athletic as well. Ibig sabihin nito is yung IAAF is yung kanilang previously is para lamang 'di ba sa mga lalaki or para lamang sa mga lalaki na gusto makipag-competition. And now is they also set rules and regulations para naman sa mga babaeng athletic events. It was a significant step towards organizing and standardizing women's sports at international level para ma-ensure nila na both men and women's athletic is were governed by the same organization. This move helped to promote equality and fairness in the world of athletics. And the next one is the 1948 is the women's long jump and shot puts were introduced in the London Olympics. Starting blocks and pins were also introduced. Okay, in around 1948 naman sa London Olympics is maraming mga exciting new additions para sa mga babaeng athletics. First is yung the long jump and shot put events were introduced for female athletes. This meant is yung mga babae they could now compete in these events alongside their male counterparts. And additional naman is starting blocks were introduced for sprint events. Starting blocks are devices that athletes use to get a better push off at the beginning of a race, helping them to start faster and run more efficiently. So these changes were part of ongoing efforts to expand and improve women's participation in track and field events. They also make sure na the sports more inclusive and exciting for all athletes. So around 1964 naman is the pentation for women was included in Tokyo Olympics and was again replaced by heptation, 7 tracks and field events. Sa Tokyo Olympics naman around 1964 is meron na namang event na tinatawag nilang itong pentation or pentathlon is they introduced it for women. So itong pentathlon is consists of 5 tracks and fields events. Later is naging Olympics Games na to. Nasali na ito siya sa Olympic Games. It is already in Olympic Games. The pentathlons was replaced by the heptathlon. So itong heptathlon naman is 'di ba sa pentathlon is meron siyang 5 tracks and field events. While dito naman sa heptathlon is meron naman siyang 7 track and field events. It is providing female athletes with a broader range of challenge to compete in. Is dito sa mga pagbabago na to is it is allowed lamang or ina-allowed lamang ito sa mga women para maipakita nila yung skills nila across a variety of disciplines, including na doon yung mga running, jumping, and throwing events, making the competition more comprehensive and exciting for them. And the next one is the 1968. So American athlete Dick Fosbury introduced the Fosbury flop, which earned him a gold medal in the 1968 Mexico Olympics. So from the year of 1968 naman sa Mexico Olympics naman ito naganap na isa sa mga American athlete na si Dick Fosbury changed high jumping forever with his innovative technique called the Fosbury flap. instead na yung traditional method of jumping face down over the bar, si Fosbury is, ang ginawa niya is, he turned his back to the bar and went over it head first. Diba? So, arching his back in graceful motion, this new technique revolutionized the sports, allowing athletes to jump higher with greater efficiency. Fosbury's daring innovations earned him a gold medal and left a lasting legacy in the world track and field. And the next one is around 1980s naman, women started participating in the triple jump. Si Lydia De Vega was dubbed as Asia's Sprint Queen. So dito naman sa around 1980s is yung mga babae naman is nagsimula rin silang nagsimula rin silang mag-participate dito sa triple jump events, which had previously been mainly a men's event lamang. While dito is pwede na rin dito yung mga babaeng athlete na binigyan sila ng opportunity para maipakita yung skills nila and yung mga challenging, diba? Yung mga challenging or yung mga exciting track and field events. So during the same period then, is Lydia De Vega earned the nickname Asia's Sprint Queen. She was a talented sprinter from the Philippines who excelled in the short distance running events. So yung speed niya, her speed and success on the track made her a celebrated figure in Asia and earned her the title of Sprint Queen, highlighting her dominance in sprinting competition throughout the region. And the next one is from around the 1986. Throwers used a redesigned javelin that, at the same weight, was made to reduce the length of the throw by 9 to 12 meters, 30 to 40 feet. So around 1986 naman, na dito naman is yung throwers in javelin events and started using a redesigned javelin. Even though it weighed the same as the old javelin, itong bagong design na to, yung mga made throws shorter by about 9 to 12 meters, 30 to 40 feet, is the change was made to enhance safety and prevent javelins from landing too far, reducing the risk of injury to athletes and spectators. So while the weight remained the same, the new design made the javelin fly a bit short distances. And the next one is around 1990s, the IAAF added women's pole vault to the competition roster, and Stacy Dragila from the US became the event's first women's world and Olympic champion. Women's hammer throw was introduced into international competition. So, around 1990s naman, there were two significant additions to women's athletics. First is yung sa IAAF, which is yung they added a pole vault to the competition roster. Ibig sabihin dito is yung female athletes is pwede na silang makipag-compete sa pole vault events alongside with men. So ibig sabihin is lahat ng mga female athletes is I know. And the second one is yung women's hammer throw was introduced into international competition during this time. Dito sa event na to is it involves a throwing heavy metal into a metal ball attached to a wire and handle as far as possible. With its inclusion is ang female athletes is they had another opportunity to showcase their strengths and skills in the field of throwing events. Additions naman is they mark an important step towards gender equality in athletics, providing women with more opportunities to compete at the highest level of international competition and contributing to the growth and development of women's sports. This edition expanded the range of events available to women in track and field competition, promoting gender equality and offering female athletes for more opportunities to compete at the highest level of international competitions. So dito is mapapansin natin is every year or every pagbaba sa mga competitions is meron silang mga ini-add or meron silang bagong ini-add doon sa mga athletes, or meron silang another games na pinatupad, 'di ba? So, hindi lamang sa mga kalalakihan, kundi pati na rin sa mga kababaihan. Maraming mga sports na pinatupad para din sa mga kababaihan para maipakita nila yung skills nila, 'di ba? And now let's proceed to the 1999, which is the women's javelin was redesigned to its present form. So during 1999 naman is the women's javelin underwent a redesign, resulting in its present form that we see today. So itong bagong design is they aim to improve the safety and performance of the javelin throw event for female athletes. Itong bagong javelin design naman is ito yung it is made more aerodynamic and stable in flight, kung saan inaalaw dito yung mga athletes upang to throw it with a greater accuracy and distance, while also reducing the risk of injury to both athletes and spectators. So dito sa bagong design para sa mga for women's javelin is natutulungan sila, or it helped them para ma-enhance nila yung kabuuan ng kanilang experience and safety sa javelin throw competitions. And the next one naman is around 2000, which is women's pole vault was introduced in Sydney Olympics. So ibig sabihin is from the 2000 naman is dito sa Sydney Olympics inintroduce naman yung pole vault. So dito, a new event was introduced for female athletes. The women's is pole vault. This meant is lahat ng mga babae or lahat ng women, they could now compete in pole vaulting, where athletes use a pole to propel themselves over a bar and into a landing pit. So it was a significant step forward to gender equality in track and field, providing females with opportunities to showcase their skills and athleticism in these exciting and challenging events on the Olympic stage. So around 2005 naman, women's steeplechase gained world champion status. So, in 2005 naman is yung women's steeplechase is nagkaroon siya ng world championships of track and field. Ibig sabihin is yung female athletes is pwede na silang makipag-compete pa sa steeplechase race, which involves is a running distance while jumping over barriers and water jumps. The inclusions of women's steeplechase naman in the World Championships recognize the growing popularity and importance of the events for female athletes. They also provide with more opportunities para maipakita rin nila yung kanilang mga skills, and kaya nilang makipag-compete kahit gaano pa man yan kataas nung level na kahit gaano pa kataas yung level ng competition sa international. So in the around 2008 naman is women's steeplechase became an Olympic event in Beijing. So from 2008 naman, during sa Beijing Olympics, ang women's steeplechase became an official event in the Olympic Games. Ibig sabihin nito is lahat ng mga female athletes is pwede na silang makipag-compete ng steeplechase race dito sa Beijing Olympics. So this inclusion for women's steeplechase in the Olympic program mark an important milestones for gender equality in athletics, is they also provide female athletes with the opportunity to showcase their skills and compete the world stage at the higher international competition. So, di ba napapansin natin? So, in every Olympics, sa Beijing man yan, sa Tokyo man yan, sa Sydney man yan, is they added, sinasali nila yung mga women's, di ba? Sinasali nila yung mga women para makipag-competence or para maipakita nila yung galing nila. So, in 2009 is Elma Muros Posadas, winner of a total of 15 gold medals in the Southeast Asian Games, retired. So, si Elma Muros Posadas is nanalo siya ng 15 gold medals in the Southeast Asian Games, and also she decided to retire from competitive athletics. So, ibig sabihin is mas pinili niya yung ihinto niya na yung pag-participate niya sa track and field competitions professionally. Si Moros Posadas is na-enjoy niya yung pagiging successful niya doon sa career na gusto niya. And she also earned a numerous gold medals in the Southeast Asian Games. Pero mas ginusto niya or she decided na siguro nasa tamang oras na para i-stop niya na, itigil niya na yung pag-participate niya sa track and field. Kung saan gusto niya naman to pursuits outside of competitive sports. So here, her retirement marked the end of an era in Philippines athletics, and she left behind a legacy of excellence and achievements in the sports. So in around 2010 naman is IAAF imposed that one false start would disqualify a runner. So dito naman sa in 2010 is ang IAAF naman is meron naman silang ginawang rule na or meron naman silang bagong rule na ginawa, which is yung regarding the false starts in sprinting events. According dito sa bagong rule is lahat ng mga runner or if yung runner is made even one false start, diba? So, they would be automatically disqualified from the race. So, ganun yung bagong rules ngayon sa IAAF. So, kapag nagkaroon ka lang ng konti or kahit isang bagay lang na nagkamali ka, is automatic na i-disqualify ka nila doon. So this meant is that athletes had to be extra careful not to start before the gun. So as a single mistake could cost them the chance to compete in the race. So the rule change aimed to ensure fair competition and maintain discipline among athletes during sprint events. In 2011 naman is si Henry Dagmil and Maristelia Torres, both long jumpers, represented the Philippines in the World Championships in Athletic in Daegu, South Korea. So si Henry Dagmil and si Maristelia Torres naman is pareho silang athletes ng Philippines who specialize, meron silang talent or yung kanilang specialized is yung long jump. They went to compete in the World Championships in Athletic held in Daegu, South Korea. So basically is isa doon sila sa mga best long jumpers from the Philippines. And nabigyan sila ng chance para maipakita nila yung skills nila on global stage kung saan yung mga athletes around the world is nakikipag-compete. Okay, the last one is the 2012 in 2012. So Ashton Eaton made a world record in the decathlon when he scored 9,039 points in the US Olympic trials. So si Ashton Eaton naman is an athlete from the United States naman. Dito is he achieved something amazing in the decathlon, which is a sport where athletes compete in 10 different tracks and field events. He set a new world record by scoring 9,039 points in the US Olympic trials. This means is he performed exceptionally well across all the events like running, jumping, and throwing, and he earned more points than anyone ever had before in a single decathlon competition. So yeah, it was really a huge accomplishment for him and showed just how talented he was in multiple athletic disciplines. So that's all po, and the next.
Assalamualaikum and good morning, sir. The track and field. These tracks were made from natural materials like dirt, clay, or crushed brick. However, in modern times for major competition, tracks are made from synthetic materials. These synthetic tracks provide faster and more consistent footing for all athletes, regardless of the weather conditions. This is a significant improvement as it allowed for more reliable performance and reduced the risk of injuries. The track event. Walking and running event athletes compete against each other to finish the race in the fastest possible time. Each event has specific rules and techniques that athletes must adhere to. Race walking. In international men's walking competition, the distance covered typically range from 20,000 meters, 50,000 meters for women's event. The distance may vary 5,000 meters to 30 meters. Race workers participating in this event must adhere to specific rules and techniques, such as maintaining contact with the ground and keeping their advancing leg straight until it passes under the body. One interesting aspect of race walking is that competition are given one warning before they are disqualified. Hurdling. The athlete is required to clear or jump over the must go over them. However, there are certain actions that can lead to the disqualification of the hurdler. If a hurdler step off there's assigned line, they are disqualified, and a hurdler is not allowed to use their hand to knock down the hurdler. Correct race walking techniques. The advancing leg is straight at the knee joint when the heel contacts the ground. And here the picture of correct race walking techniques. And last, wrong race walking techniques. Advancing leg is bent and loss of contact with the ground. And the picture of incorrect race walking posture.
Okay, good day to each and everyone. I am Rabat Bali, and in this session, I will be going to continue the discussion of Miss Petilo, which is the track and field events. Okay, so now let's proceed to the fourth one. We have the running. In running, first we have the long distance. Long distance, considered as the long distance events are those ranging from 300 meters upward and upward, the marathon, steeplechase, cross country, road runs. Speed becomes of secondary importance only to pace and endurance. The longer runner, the less possible is exposure of a speed known as a fishing kick at the last part of the race. Track and field, long distance events races that covers are events that covers 3,000 meters or more. In long distance, in long distance races, the focus is on maintaining a steady pace and having a good endurance rather than running at the at the top speed. Long distance runners need to have a good stamina and be able uh, to keep going for a long time without getting tired. So they have to pace themselves and manage their energy so that they can finish the race. Unlike the other races like the short shorter races, where runners sprint to the finish line, the long distance races require a more steady and controlled approach. Strategy is more important in long distance races. Runners need to plan how they will run the race, when to speed up or slow down, and how to save energy. They also need to stay mentally strong and focused throughout the race. So events throughout the race, even when they start feeling tired. Okay, so that's the long distance. Okay, next we have the pace setters. Okay, this cover pace setters covers in the long distance. Okay, pace setters are important in elite competitions. The pace setter will run at the program pace for as long as he can, allowing allowing the elite runner behind him to face less wind resistance. The pace setter eventually lags behind, leaving the elite runner for the last part of the run. Competitors do not use starting blocks because they use the standing start. Okay. In a in elite track and field in elite track and field competition, pace setters is a crucial play a important role because a pace setter is a designated runner who set the pace for the race. Okay, they run at the predetermined speed for as long as they can. So it can help the elite runners behind them by reducing the wind resistance. The goal of the pace setter is to create the optimal condition for the elite runner to achieve their best performance. Okay, by running a I mean by running at a consistent pace, the pace setter will allows the elite runner to conserve energy and focus on maintaining their position in the race. So the pace setter takes on a responsibility of controlling the speed. It enables the elite runners to follow their lead and also to stay in a favorable position within the race. Okay, next we have the steeplechase. A steeplechase combines long distance running and hurdling. Each runner is required to run a 3,000-meter course and clear seven water jumps and 28 hurdles. Steeplechasers run the first 200 meters. Ang steeplechase is an event in a track and field that combines a long distance running with a hurdling. Okay, in this the runners are required to compete. I mean uh, to complete a 3,000-meter course while overcoming 7 water jumps and 28 hurdles. The race begins with a start to similar to other track events, where runners sprint the first 200 meters. After the initial sprint, the runners approach the first hurdle, which which they must clear by jumping over it without knocking out. So the hurdles are set at a fixed height and are evenly spaced throughout the course. So in addition to the hurdles, steeplechasers also encounter water jumps during the race. So these water jumps consist of barriers followed by a water pit. Runners must jump over the barrier and then land on the water pit, which adds an extra challenge to the event. Okay. Okay. Next we have the. Okay. Now let's let us know the men's hurdles height and the women. Okay, so the men's hurdles are 36 inches high, women's are 30 inches. All regular hurdles are 3.94 meters, just under 13 feet wide. While the water hurdles are 3.66 meters or 12 feet wide. The beginning of the 12-foot long pit is 70 centimeters or 2.3 feet deep and sloped up to the level of the field at the far end. Okay. In a steeplechasers event, there are specific measurements for hurdles and water pit. For men, the hurdles are set the height of 36 inches, while for the women, the hurdles set at the height of 30 inches. Okay. So next, we now proceed to the sixth one. We have the marathon. The marathon, being one of the oldest Olympic events, has become a significant attraction of the Olympics and other international competitions. The race originally was a tribute was a tribute to the achievement of Greek soldier who allegedly ran from Marathon to Athens in 49 BC. Okay, the marathon is one of the oldest Olympic events and has become a highly anticipated attraction in the Olympics and other international competitions. The origin of the marathon can be traced back to the Greek soldier who, according to the legend, ran from Marathon to Athens in 490 BC to deliver the news of the Greeks' victory over the Persians. These historic events inspired the creation of marathon race. The marathon is a long distance race that covers a distance of 26.22 miles or 42.186 kilometers. So it is the longest running race for which the International Association of Athletics Federation, or IAAF, keep official records. The marathon requires a high level of endurance and due to level of okay. The marathon requires a high level of endurance due to its extended distance, unlike the shorter racers that focus on speed and explosion power. So the marathon is a test of endurance and mental fortitude. Runners must pace themselves wisely to conserve energy and maintain steady rhythm throughout the race. The longer the distance, the more important endurance becomes, as the runners need to sustain their effort for a prolonged period. Okay. So next we have the middle distance. The farther the distance, the more endurance is needed. The middle distance events range from 800 to 2000 meters. Competitors do not use starting blocks because they use the standing start. The middle distance events in a track and field require a combination of a speed and endurance and and tactical decision making. So these events typically range from 800 to 2000 meters in a distance. In the middle distance races, the level of endurance needed need to increase as the distance gets longer. Runners must possess ability to maintain a fast pace over the sustained period while also having a speed to outpace their competitors. So unlike the sprint events, middle distance runners do not use starting block. They start from the standing position. Okay, next we have the standing start. So first, position your foot up, but not stepping on the starting line. Distribute your weight so that about two-thirds of your weight is on your front foot. Okay. The position of your foot, place your foot up to, but not stepping on the line. This ensures that you are in a correct standing position without committing a false start. So you need to distribute your weight. Shift your weight so that approximately two-thirds of your weight is your front foot. So this helps to generate power and provides a solid base for your initial push off. So it maintains a balanced stance. Also, you need to balance your stance. Keep your body upright and your hips level. So also you need to avoid leaning too forward or backward, as this affect your balance and overall speed. So you need to focus on a quick reaction where you need to prepare yourself mentally to react quickly to the starting signal. Okay, now let's proceed to sprint. A constant top speed is required in a relatively short sprints raise up to 400 meters. In earlier in earlier days or In earlier days, all sprinters used the standing start, but in 1880s, the crouch start was developed. It becomes a rule that sprinter must start. In a track and field, the sprint events are characterized by the need for the constant top speed. Okay, these races range from the shortest distance of 100 meters up to 400 meters. In earlier days now, of a track and field, all sprinters used the standing start. However, in the 1880s, the crouch start start was developed. So it eventually became a rule that that sprinters must start from this position. Okay, next. Next we have the relays. Okay. In the relay events naman, relay events are an exciting and strategic part of the sport. So the standard relay races are the 4 by 10 meters and 4 by 400 meters events, which are included in both high level and local competitions. In a relay team, there are 4 runners, each responsible for carrying the baton for approximately 25% of the total distance before passing it to the next team member. So the exception is the fourth runner, who is known as the anchor and the completes the final leg of the race. The first runners start the race from starting blocks. Just like the individual sprint events, the next 3 runners receive a baton during the exchange zone, so which are 20 meters long and preceded by a 10-meter acceleration zone. So relay events require not only a speed and endurance but also an excellent teamwork, communication, and coordination among the 4 members. The team must work together to ensure a seamless transition of the baton and maintain their momentum throughout the race. Next, we have the upswing. The baton carriers puts the upper third of the baton to the platform created by a baton receivers, hard with the receiver's thumb away from the body and palm facing down. The upswing, it allows for a smooth and effective handover of the baton. It minimizes the risk of drops or delays during the exchange. The receiver's hand position with the thumb away from a body and the palm facing down. It provides a secure and stable surface to receive the baton. Next, we have the downswing. The baton carriers put the upper third of the baton to the platform created by the baton receiver's hand with the receiver's thumb towards the body and the palm facing up. In the downswing technique, It allows a smooth and controlled hand over the baton. It's similar to the upswing method, but the receiver hand's position with the thumbs facing the body and the palm facing up, it provides a secure and stable surface to receive the baton. Okay. Next, we have the baton carrier. Okay. So if you're carrying the baton in your right hand, run along the left half of the lane. And if carrying the baton in your left hand, run along right half of the lane. So do not run directly behind the baton receiver, as this could cause you a step on each other. So call a pass and reach out with your passing arm only when you are within the distance to make exchange and not before. While baton receiver, sa baton receiver, if the baton carrier is using the right hand, stay on the right half of your lane and receive the baton in your left hand. And if the baton carrier is using their left hand, stay on the left half of your lane and receive the baton in your right hand. Okay? As soon as you see the baton carrier reach the check mark and stay in your half of the lane until you receive the baton. So listen to the call of a pass before putting your arm back to receive the baton. And that's all for my discussion. Thank you for watching. Bye-bye.
Assalamualaikum and good day everyone. I am Jumana Pitilo and I'm going to discuss about field events, specifically jumping, pole vault, and high jump. Let's get started. So this is the topic that I'll be going to discuss, or the topic overview. It's jumping, pole vault, and high jump. Let's proceed to jumping. Jumping. Men and women compete in 4 jumping events: the pole vault, high jump, long jump, and triple jump. Yes, tama man kung ano yung iniisip nyo, na ang jumping ay kung sa Tagalog ay pagtalon. Ngunit sa sports, there are 4 jumping events. It's the pole vault, high jump, long jump, and triple jump. And I'll be going to discuss the first 2, which is the pole vault and the high jump. So I provided pictures or illustrations about the 4 jumping events para mas maintindihan at ma-visualize ng lahat. So in the first picture, that is pole vault. The second one is high jump. The third picture is long jump, and the last picture is about triple jump. Later, I'll further elaborate it for you to understand it more. So now, let's proceed to the first jumping event, which is the pole vault. You can read the context while I'm explaining. So here guys, sa pole vault, ang mga players dito ay tinatawag na pole vaulters. Ito na yung jumping event na may hawak yung mga players na pole. So here guys, nagsisimula ang competition sa low and comfortable height. Mababa pa lang yung height na kailangan nilang talunan sa umpisa. So doon nag-uumpisa ang laro. At ang bawat player or bawat pole vaulters, they only have 3 chances to clear each height. Ibig sabihin, 3 beses lang silang pwedeng tumalon para ma-clear nila yung bawat heights. And also, they have the opportunity or chance na i-pass or hindi talunan ang any height na gustuhin nila ng hindi talunan, but then hindi na sila makakabalik sa height na yon. At ang basihan dito ng panalo or ng winner guys is kung sino yung player or pole vaulter na nag-clear ng best height. Yun yung mananalo. So here guys, yung process, as you can see in the illustration, kailangan munang tumakbo ng pole vaulter since kailangan niyang bumuelo para sa talon niya. Kailangan niya munang tumakbo sa 45-meter runway, and after niyang tumakbo, kailangan niyang patayuin yung pole niya or kailangan niyang itanim yung pole niya dun sa take-off box. para makaredy na siyang tumalon. So pagtalon niya guys, kailangan niyang i-twist yung katawan niya para mauna yung paa niya. And after that, kailangan niyang matalunan yung crossbar or yung parang stick sa taas. Pagtalon niya doon, lalanding siya sa kabila, which is merong inflated or composition pit doon. Malambot yung malalandingan niya guys para safe naman yung players. So kailangan hindi mahulog yung crossbar guys, yung stick pagtatalon siya. Yun yung process ng pole vault, yun yung successful na pagtalon. Pole vaulters use their own poles, which may be made of any material or a combination of materials. Although the pole's smooth surface must be maintained, there are no restrictions regarding the pole's measurement and weight. So ang mga pole vaulters, gumagamit sila ng sarili nilang poles. At wala namang restriction pagdating sa poles ng mga pole vaulter. Pwedeng kahit saan siyang gawang materials as long as yung smooth surface ng pole ay ma-maintain. So, kailangan yung texture ng pole ay smooth. So, nung dati, yung mga pole gawa siya sa mga solid ash, cedar, or hickory, which is mabigat yun at hassle yun sa mga pole vaulters. Kaya nowadays, ang preferred na gamitin ng mga pole vaulters ay gawa sa fiberglass. And sabi nga dito, wala namang restrictions regarding sa measurement and weight ng pole since sarili naman nila yung pole, depende na yun sa kanila kung gaano kahaba at gaano kabigat yung gusto nila na pole. Now, let's talk about high jump. This is the second event in jumping event. So, sa high jump guys, yung runway ay nagme-measure ng 20 meter. Also, may crossbar din na tatalunan yung jumper or yung parang stick. So, yung crossbar, maaring gawa siya sa kahoy or any approved material. And meron din tayong cushion or yung foam na lalandingan ng jumper. So, itong cushion na ito, nagme-measure siya ng 5 by 4 meter. And there is one basic rule for high jumping. The jumper must leave the ground from 1 foot only. So, one basic rule guys in high jumping, kailangan pagtatalon na yung jumper, gagamit lang siya ng isang paa. So, ang objective dito or yung goal ay matalunan yung crossbar na hindi ito nahuhulog. So, ang crossbar, nagme-measure siya ng 4 meter long and 3 cm in diameter. Also, yung center ng crossbar, ang maximum measurement niya ay 2 cm. As you can see in the illustration guys, ganyan ginagawa yung high jump. In high jump, yung athlete pwede siyang sumali sa high jump competition starting sa any height of choice niya. Ibig sabihin, pwede niyang talunan yung kahit anong height na gusto niya as long as above the minimum height. And since dito sa high jump, every round tinataas yung crossbar. That's why may option yung jumper na mag-pass or wag talunan yung isang certain height. Pero hindi niya na mababalikan yung height na yon. Except na lamang sa jump off. Yung jump off, ginagawa yun to break a tie for the first place. So the jumper is still in the competition as long as he does not incur 3 successive foul jumps. So, ang isang participant or ang isang jumper, nasa competition pa rin siya, hindi siya disqualified as long as hindi sunod-sunod yung foul jumps niya or hindi 3 sunod-sunod na foul jumps. And then, for every end of the round, tinataas yung crossbar or yung tinatalunan ng jumper ng minimum niya ay 2 cm. So, tinataas yun every time, every end of the round. Hanggang sa isang jumper na lang yung matira. At yun yung winner. So, yung jumper na yun, yung winner na yun, pwede pa rin siyang mag-attempt na mag-jump hanggang sa ma-attain niya yung greatest height niya for records purposes. So, hindi siya pinipigilan na pag nanalo na siya, pwede na siyang tumigil. So choice yun ng jumper kung gusto niyang magpatuloy. In case na yung jumpers, may jumpers na nag-tied, so yung jumper na pinaka-konting attempts doon sa winning height, yun yung mananalo. There are 3 phases of the jump: the approach, takeoff, and flight. The approach must be made at a comfortable speed to keep the body under sufficient control to ensure a proper takeoff. A jumper must take off from 1 foot, clear the bar, land on the mat, and leave while the bar remains in position. So, in high jump guys, yung phases ng jump ay 3. The approach, yung approach, yan na yung bumubuelo yung jumper or yan na yung tatakbo siya. Take off, yan na yung nagre-ready siyang tumalon. no? You need to take off using one foot only. And then flight, ito na yung nasa ere yung jumper. Palanding na siya. So let's further elaborate that. Sa approach guys, ang standard ay 10-step. 10-step approach. So sisimulan mo yung approach mo using your non-take-off foot. Ibig sabihin, kung ang take-off foot mo or yung kung tatalon ka, ang gagamitin mo ay your right foot, then yung approach mo naman, ang first step mo, ang gagamitin mo ay yung left foot mo. Ganun siya. Ang speed mo, dapat, yung approach speed mo ay dapat consistent. And then, tuloy mo lang yun, tuloy-tuloy lang yung speed hanggang sa nag-a-accelerate ka na. Dapat nag-a-accelerate ka na yan sa pagka-third step mo. And then, in your fifth step, dyan na yung second check mark mo. Ibig sabihin, pagka-fifth step mo, ready ka na mag-curve. Kasi yung magka-curve yan yung acceleration mo papuntang crossbar. Dapat papunta siya dun sa direction ng crossbar. So, ibig sabihin, before you hit your check mark, yung position ng paa mo, papunta na siya doon sa crossbar. Papunta na siya doon sa direction ng crossbar. That's why, sa sixth step mo, continue mo lang yun, yung acceleration mo, bali pa-curve na yan. Pa-curve na yan towards the bar. And then, unti-unti ka nang maglilin away. Pag malapit ka na sa crossbar, unti-unti ka na maglilin away. Because pag tatalon ka na, ang mauuna ay yung sa likod mo. That's why, unti-unti ka nang patalikod. Unti-unti ka nang patalikod sa bar. I-maintain mo lang yung acceleration and unti-unting talikod at make sure yung chin mo nakataas, naka-straight na yung body mo, pa-ready ka na for take-off. So, let's proceed to the second phase, which is the take-off phase. Ito ay ginagawa after the approach phase. Dito na yung tatalon yung jumper. So, guys, sa pag-execute ng take-off phase, hindi siya recommended na tatalon ka sa gitna ng crossbar. Hindi ka dapat tatalon sa center. Kasi nga, di ba yung approach mo, pa-curve siya. So, pag tatalon ka sa gitna, may tendency na pag talon mo, tas pagpunta mo doon sa kabila, hindi ka masasalo nung foam kasi nga nasobrahan na yung acceleration mo kasi sa gitna ka tumalon. May tendency na ma-injury ka kasi nga sa ground ka babagsak. So, kailangan yung take-off mo before center. Before ka mapunta sa center ng crossbar, dapat nakatalon ka na para ma-make sure na pag-landing mo, eksakto doon sa foam. And then, since ang take-off phase, isang foot lang yung gagamitin. It's either left foot or right foot. So, pagkatalon mo using your one foot, yung isang foot na non-take-off, your non-take-off foot, kailangan mo siyang itaas ng mabuti para hindi niya masagi yung crossbar. Ganun din yung arms mo. Dapat nakapunch siya upward pero hindi siya ganun kalayo sa body mo. Make sure na malapit pa rin siya sa katawan mo. And then, you maintain the acceleration and dapat yung tingin mo, nakatingin ka pa rin sa crossbar para alam mo kung tama ba yung pagtalon mo. You also make sure na yung take-off mo, it should be a vertical jump and yung momentum ng speed mo dapat maayos. Let's proceed to the third phase, which is the flight phase. Ang flight phase, guys, may tatlo siyang part, which is arcing your body, clearing your legs, and then the finish. So, dito sa arcing your body, guys, syempre nasa ere ka na. So, i-continue mo lang yung pag-move mo, and then kailangan mo na ring i-move yung take-off leg mo. Kasi nga, pag nakatalon ka na, kailangan mo na ring itaas yung ginamit mo na paa sa pagtalon para hindi niya masagi yung crossbar. After that, kailangan mo nang i-rotate yung hips mo and then yung shoulders mo to make sure na makakatawid yung upper body mo dun sa crossbar. So, after nang makatawid ng upper body mo, yung ulo mo, yung likod mo, kailangan mo nang i-arc. Kailangan mong i-arc yung body mo para i-make sure na makakatawid din yung hips mo. So, after that arcing your body, then clearing your legs na. Since once your hips ay na-clear niya na yung bar or nakatawid na siya sa bar, yun naman, ang kailangan namang makatawid ay yung legs mo. So, after mong ma-make sure yun, then yung tingin mo papunta na sa legs mo. Siyempre, nakatingin ka sa legs mo, then kailangan mo siyang itaas both of your legs para hindi niya masagi yung crossbar. And then after that, that's flight phase finish. So, dito, palanding ka na talaga. So, this is the best part of a successful jump since dito, nami-make sure na na-clear mo na yung height. Ibig sabihin, nakatalon ka talaga. So, dito, you make sure na spread mo yung arms mo. Kasi nga palanding ka na. Spread mo yung arms mo as well as yung legs mo nakaspread. And make sure nasa likod ka lalanding. No, yung upper back mo doon ka lalanding. Wag na wag kayong lalanding sa elbow nyo guys. Bawal yun. Kasi pwede kayong ma-sprain. Kasi pag naglanding kayo ng patagilid, dito kayo sa may elbows nyo or sa may shoulders nyo, magkaka-sprain kayo. Kasi nga yung weight nyo mapupunta doon. So, wag nyong gagawin yun. Make sure na sa back kayo lalanding. Also, merong mga landing na roll over sila sa head nila kasi nga hindi nila na-control yung momentum nila. That's why nasobrahan, nagbaliktad na sila over their head. Which is okay lang naman yun. It's an option din naman sa landing. But then, mas maganda na upper back yung landing nyo. That's why, very important na spread nyo yung arms nyo as well as yung legs nyo para ma-decrease yung momentum nyo. And that's it guys for the 3 phases of jumping in high jump.
And that's it for my report. The topic will be continued by the next reporter. Thank you so much for listening.
So, good day everyone. I am Dato JK Pilot and I'm going to discuss about the long jump and triple jump. Okay, let's start. Let's go first to the long jump. So, long jump or broad jump is a track and field event in which athletes combine speed, strength, and agility in an attempt to leap as far as possible from a takeoff point. So basically, of all jumping events, long jump is perhaps the most natural to perform, and the easiest to learn. Okay. But anyway, it says here that long jump, or also known as the broad jump, it is a track and field athletic event in which athletes, or let's say jumpers, sprint along a runway and jump as far as possible from a wooden takeoff board into the sandpit, or let's say into the landing area. Okay, and also remember that this sport requires a lot of speed, a lot of strength, a lot of, let's say, stamina, and also agility to have a great landing. Okay, so look at the picture. So that is an example. Those are the example of long jump. Okay, so remember, the objective is to take off from behind and specific and cover the longest distance possible before landing in a sandfield pit. And the long jumper must possess good speed and powerful jumping ability. Okay, so we have here the playing area. So the playing area in the long jump sports, the playing area in the long jump sports consists of a runway, takeoff board, plasticine, and also sandpit, or what we call landing area. Okay, so here you also have here another picture, and which is it's also the playing area. Okay, so with measurements. So we have here the runway. So the runway for jump is about 40 meters long and 1.22 meters, or 4 feet in width. And we also have here the takeoff board. So the takeoff board is a white color rectangular piece of wood that is 1.22 meters or 4 feet in length, and 20 centimeters or 7.87 inches in width, and also 10 centimeters or 3.93 inches in depth. Also have here the plasticine. So the plasticine is placed at least 1 meter from the landing area to determine the fault takeoff, which is commonly red in color. Okay, and also we have here the landing area. Landing area is filled with silicon sand, which is commonly 2.75 meters or 9 feet in width, 9 meters or 29.5 feet in length, and at least 30 centimeter or 11.81 inches in depth. Okay, so there are three mostly used long jump techniques, and those are the sail technique, hang technique, and also hitch kick technique. So sail technique is the sail technique is one of the most basic long jump techniques. After the takeoff phase is complete, the jumper immediately lifts the legs into toe touching position. This allows the body to sail in the air, effectively accompanying the momentum achieved by the lift. And also we have here that hang technique. So the hang technique works by lengthening the body to make it as efficiently long as possible. So here both the arms and legs are extended to reach a maximum distance from the hips at the leaping point. Okay, and this position is held until after the jumper reaches the apex of the jump, at which point the athlete will snap the legs forward into a landing position. So we also have here the hitch kick technique. So hitch kick is also known as climbing or running in the air. So this technique counteracts the athlete's rotational velocity by cycling the arms and legs during the flight. And it is also the most complex technique. Okay, and remember, here in the long jump, the farthest legal jump wins. Okay, but a jump is not considered legal if the jumper are, the first one, steps beyond the takeoff line. The second one takes off at the side of the takeoff board. The third one touches the ground outside the pit, closer to the takeoff line than the nearest mark made in the pit. Or the last one, a jump is not considered legal if the jumper walks back or leaps through the landing area. Okay, so that is long jump. Now let's proceed to the another one, which is the triple jump. So triple jump requires striding consistency and leg strength and power, as triple jumper's leg take a beating in all three jump phases. So here in the triple jump, speed is necessary, but not as imperative as in the long jump. As you know, some energy must be conserved for the last spring into the landing pit. Okay, and also other than the use of 3 spring instead of 1, the triple jump applies the same competition rules as in the long jump. And remember, the triple jump includes 3 distinct segments of actions, and those are the hop, step, and also the jump. Okay, so So just look at the picture. So this is the half step jump sequence of triple jump, and of course we have the takeoff. So here, plant your takeoff foot on the board and spring from it. Then after that, do the hop, land on your takeoff foot, then take another spring from it. Next, do the second one, which is the step. Okay, land on the other foot, then spring from it. Then lastly, do the jump, land on the pit with both arms and feet forward. Okay, so this is the end of my report. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, and good day everyone, especially to you, sir. I am Lysandra Usop and I am the last reporter on this group, and today I'm going to discuss about the hammer throw, javelin throw, and multi-events. So first, what is hammer throw? Hammer throw is a combination of strength and agility with a good footwork as essential ingredients in maintaining proper form. Athletes build up rotational speed by spinning around several times before releasing the hammer. It requires strength, technique, and coordination. The hammer throw is a track and field event where athletes throw a heavy metal ball attached to the steel wire known as the hammer. For distance, athletes start for the stationary position within the throwing circle and use a series of spin and big rotational speed before releasing the hammer. This event requires a combination of strength, agility, and coordination, as athletes must generate power while maintaining control and balance throughout the throw. So now let's proceed to the equipment of hammer throw. In hammer throw event, the equipment used includes the hammer. As you can see on the pictures on your screen, a metal ball attached to a steel wire with a handle. The hammer consists of solid iron, brass, or other metal ball that is 4.3 inches in diameter. The measurement for men, the weight of the hammer is around 7.26 kilograms, while women it is 4 kilograms. The steel wire and handle are not more than 1.22 meters or 4 feet in length. The length and width of the hammer are important factors in the event as they affect the distance the hammer can be thrown. The second equipment is shoes. Athletes opt for shoes before cleats to maximize their grip on the ground within the throwing circle. These equipments allow them to execute the spinning motion with greater ease and confidence, as they can push off the ground and pivot smoothly without the risk of slipping. The shoes also provide stability, helping athletes maintain their balance throughout the spinning motions, which is essential for the generating power and distance in the throw. The third one is clothing. Athletes wear lightweight vests that other freedom of movement in the arms and shoulders. This freedom is crucial for executing the throwing motions effectively, as it allows athletes to swing the hammer with full range of motions and optimal speed. Tight-fitting shorts are another essential piece of equipment for the hammer throw. These shorts offer support to the tights, which is especially important during the explosive movements of the throw, allowing athletes to maintain their strength and power output throughout the event. And lastly, the gloves. Athletes wear leather gloves with thick fingers to ensure a solid grip on the handle of the hammer. These gloves serve a crucial purpose in providing athletes with the necessary grip and control over the hammer, especially during the spinning motions and the release. The leather materials of the gloves offer durability and protection, allowing athletes to maintain their grip without worrying about the handle, slipping, or causing discomfort. The left side on your screen, as you can see, this is the proper attire of laying hammer throw. The athlete grips the handles for the hammer with two hands and may wear gloves to ensure a secure grip. The athlete then initiates the throwing motions by spinning around within this throwing circle, using their entire body to generate momentum. The athletes typically completes 3 or 4 body turns before releasing the hammer. The goal is develop maximum centrifugal force, which is the outward force that makes the hammer move in a circular path. The speed of rotations of the hammer just before releasing is crucial, as it largely determines how far the hammer will travel. Each competitor generally takes 6 throws in total of 3 in the elimination and 3 in finals. The longest throw among all the competitors is winning throw. This format allows athletes multiple attempts to achieve their best performance and ensure a fair and competitive environment. So now, we are now proceed to the javelin throw. So what is javelin throw? Javelin throw involves a spear-like implement that is hurled with an over-the-shoulder motions at the end of an approach run. Javelin throwing can be taxing on your arms and shoulders, so correct technique is particularly important. The javelin throw is a track and field that involves hurling a spear-like implement known as the javelin, with an over-the-shoulder motions at the end of an approach run. Javelin throwing requires a high level of skills and technique. Correct form is crucial to prevent injury and maximize throwing distance. Athletes must also pay attention to the angles of release, the timing of the throw, and the trajectory of the javelin is to achieve the best possible result. Javelin also consists of several key parts, each serving a specific function in throwing processes. Here's the measurement and the parts of the javelin. The first one is the pointed metal ball, the second is shaft, the third is cord. Point metal band. Point metal band located at the front of the javelin. Front end of the javelin. The point metal band is designed to pierce the ground upon landing, ensuring stability and preventing the javelin from bouncing or rolling upon impact. The fixture helps to accurately mark the landing spot for the measurement purposes. The sharp. The sharp of javelin is long, slender portions of the implement that extend from the pointed metal band to the grip end. It is typically made of lightweight, durable materials such as aluminum or carbon fiber, designed to provide optimal balance, aerodynamics, and stiffness for efficient throwing. Third is cord. Cord is attached to the grip end of the javelin. The javelin serves as safely measure to prevent the javelin from traveling too far during practice or competition. It allows officials to retrieve the javelin quickly and safely after it has been thrown. As the measurements of the javelin, they vary slightly between men and women's competitions. The men measurement of javelin is weighing approximately 800 grams and measuring 260 centimeters or 8.5 feet in length. The men's javelin is slightly heavier and longer compared to the women's javelin. So next is the women's javelin, weighing approximately 600 grams and measuring 220 centimeters or 7.2 feet in length. The women's javelin is slightly and shorter to accommodate the physical characteristics and throwing capabilities of female athletes. In javelin throwing also, we have here the grip. The grip is a crucial aspect of the technique. We have here 3 main grips used in javelin throwing. The first one is American grip. In American grip, the javelin is held with a cord between the thumb and forefinger, within the thumb and forefinger. This grip allows for the secured hold on the javelin and provides good control over the release. It is commonly used by javelin throwers who preferred a more traditional grip. The second is fork grip. In fork grip, the javelin is held with the cord between the forefinger and the middle finger. This or like this. This grip provides a different feel and may offer advantages in the term of comfort or control for some throwers. It can also help in generating additional spin on the javelin, which can affect its flight path. So the lastly is finish grip. It is also known as V grip or thumb grip. It is a less common but specialized grip used in a javelin throw. In this grip, the javelin is held between the cord position between the middle finger and the thumb. So like this. The index fingers extends along the shaft of the javelin, forming a V shape with the thumb. The finish grip is known for to provide a high level of control and stability during the throw. So yes, javelin throwing is a dynamic and demanding event that requires a combination of rhythm, speed, and strength. Athletes perform an approach run with a precise timing, building momentum as they accelerated toward the throwing area. The key to a successful throw lies in the maintained rhythm and speed during the approach, allowing the athletes to generate the necessary force to propel the javelin forward. When it comes to the actual throw, the javelin must be gripped at the cord and hurled over the shoulders or above the throwing arm. This technique ensures optimal release and trajectory, allowing the javelin to achieve maximum distance. Athletes are provided from using unconventional styles or throwing, such as spinning or sidearm techniques to maintain fairness and safety in the competition. Upon releasing, the javelin must land head first onto the sector, covering an angle of 29 degrees extending from the arc at the runway end. This sector serves as designated land area, ensuring that the javelin lands safely and predictably. Javelins, the sticks and stones upright upon landing and are not allowed, as they can create safety hazards and distort the accuracy of measurements. In competition, javelin throwers are provided with a runway that is 4 meters wide and at least 30 meters in length. Ending in the 8 meters radius arc, this runway provides athletes with the space and momentum needed to execute their approach run and deliver powerful throw. The dimension of runway and landing area are standardized to ensure the fairness and consistency across the competitors. The measurement of throw is made from the point where the head of the javelin first lands to the inside edges of the 8 meters radius arc at the end of throwing area. This measurement determines the distance of the throw and it is used to determine the athlete's scores. To ensure accuracy and fairness, throwers are required to remain within the designated throwing area until the throw has been measured. Leaving the throwing area before the measurement is completed can result in disqualification. Championship competition typically consists of 6 throws for each athlete, 3 in the elimination round and 3 in final round. The athlete's longest single throw out of the 6 items is used to determine their final scores. In the event of the tie, there are 2 or more athletes have the same longest throw. The second farthest throw in the tied competition are considered. The athletes where the next longer throw after the longest one is used to break the tie and determine the winner. These rules ensures that the competition is fair and that is the best performers are rewarded based on their overall performance across all atoms. They are also add an element of strategy, as athletes must balance the risk of attempting throws with the need to ensure that each throw is valid and achieves a measurable distance. We have also here a technique in playing javelin throw. The technique is crucial of achieving maximum distance and accuracy. The first technique is a straight approach. No, this is a techniques, and this is a step by step. Okay. The first is straight approach. Like what I said, always observe the pictures on your screen to better understand what I'm going to say. So, number one, straight approach. And this is hold the javelin high at the cord over your throwing shoulders, with your throwing elbow up and pointed forward. The javelin should be pointed in the target directions. Begin your approach and accelerate smoothly toward a throwing line. Run straight ahead as this normal run using 13 to 17 strides to build momentum. The second is withdrawal and crossover. On your fourth or 18th slide, depending on your preference, turn your bodies so your non-throwing hip is pointed toward the target area. The non-throwing leg crosses over the throwing leg as you withdraw the javelin. Your throwing hand should be around shoulder height and your arm should be straight. Incline your trunk backward to prepare the next phase of your throw. The number 3 is initiate the throw. Plant your non-throwing leg firmly into the ground and push off with your throwing foot to generate power. Swivel your hips so they are again at the right angles to the target area as you shift your weight forward. And bring your throwing arms up and forward, keeping your elbow high. Your throwing shoulders will cross over your opposite leg, helping to generate torque and power of the throw. Number 4 is deliver the throw. Rotate your throwing hand as you release the javelin at the angle at approximately 33 degrees. This angle optimizes the javelin trajectory for maximum distance. Pointing your thumb on the ground as you release the javelin help release the stress on your body and assist your body in pivoting, allowing you to transform power into the javelin. Follow through completely, extending your arm forward and downward to ensure a smooth release and maximize distance. And lastly, the recovery. Keep your non-throwing foot grounded and bring your throwing leg forward to stop your momentum after the throw. And that is the circle in the picture. The amount of horizontal momentum, you have to dictate the amount of space needed to halt before the scratch line, which is typically around 1.5 to 2 meters. You may adjust your check mark to achieve the optimal distance on the runway, depending on your speed and momentum. So let's proceed to the last part, the multi-event. So what is multi-events means? Multi-events refers to the combined events that includes a series of individual track and field events. These events typically includes a variety of disciplines such as running, jumping, and throwing. Multi-events is a track and field event refers to the combined competitions that features a series of individual events. Athletes participate in multi-events showcase their versatility and athleticism across a range of disciplines, including running, jumping, and throwing. These events are designed to test athletes' overall athletic ability, requiring them to excel in various skills and technique. We have here the decathlon. Decathlon is multi-event competitions exclusively for men. Consists of 10 track and field events held over 2 consecutive days. Here how the events are typically scheduled over the 2 days. We have here the day 1. The day 1 consists of 5 track and field events. The first is jump meters, followed long jump and shot put and high jump, and lastly the 400 meters. Let's move on to the day 2. The day 2 consists also a 5 track and field events. The first is 110 meters hurdles. Second is a discus throw and the pole vault and javelin throw, and lastly the 1,500 meters. So now we are now proceed to the heptathlon. The heptathlon is the women multi-event competitions that span only 2 days, which athletes competing in a series of 7 track and field events. Now we have here the day 1 and day 2. Events are typically scheduled over the 2 days. First, the day 1. The day 1 consists of 4 track and field events, including the 100 meters hurdles, high jump, shot put, and 200 meters. In day 2, consists only 3 track and field events, including the long jump, javelin throw, and 800 meters. The scoring in the heptathlon is based on a point system, with the athletes earning points based on their performance in each event. Each athlete is given points for his performance, in every event. With more points given for better marks, the athletes with the highest points at the end of the last event wins. In the book, pentathlon is not included, but according to my research, the pentathlon is also a multi-event competition, but it is held in indoors for both men and women, consisting of 5 track and field events that are completely in a single day, unlike the outdoor heptathlon and decathlon, which consists of 7 and 10 events respectively. The the pentathlon is a condensed version of multi-event formats. Common events in the pentathlon may include the long jump, javelin throw, 200-meter race or run, discus throw, and 1,500 meters race or run. That's all of my report, and that's all of our discussion for today. Thank you for your attention, and I hope that the information shared in my report or our report has been informative and useful. Shukran.